My wife's parents forced me out, not realizing I funded their entire lifestyle, so I left, and their world came crashing down. Where are you watching this from? Subscribe, say hi, and be part of our growing family. I'll never forget the look on Gerald's face when he pointed toward the door of what was supposed to be my home. Eugene, it's time you find your own place. This arrangement isn't working anymore. My father-in-law stood there in his designer polo shirt, the one I'd bought him for Father's Day, with my mother-in-law Diane nodding behind him like a bobblehead. We were standing in the kitchen of the house I'd been paying the mortgage on for 3 years. 3 whole years. My wife Anna just looked at the floor, twisting her wedding ring. That's when I knew something was off. We'd moved in with her parents temporarily after their restaurant failed back in 2021. Just 6 months, they'd promised. Until we get back on our feet. That was a lie. Now here I was, 32 years old, being told to leave by people who hadn't paid a single bill since I'd walked through that door. Gerald, can we talk about this? I kept my voice steady, professional. I'm a financial analyst, I don't do drama. Maybe we should all sit down as a family. There's nothing to discuss, Diane cut in, arms crossed over her chest. You're not respecting our home, our rules. Anna deserves better than someone who argues with her parents. Argues? I'd asked them last week to stop leaving lights on the 24th of July because the electric bill hit $400. The audacity made my jaw clench. But I looked at Anna, hoping she'd say something, anything. She didn't. That silence? That was the moment everything changed. If you believe families shouldn't exploit the people who help them, hit subscribe. Only manipulators and freeloaders won't. The argument Diane mentioned happened 3 days before the ultimatum. I'd come home from work exhausted, ready to collapse, when I saw the credit card statement on the counter. Someone had charged $2,800 at a luxury furniture store. I picked it up, thinking there'd been fraud, until I saw Diane's signature on the receipt. Diane, did you buy a new bedroom set? I asked her calmly when she walked in with shopping bags from Nordstrom. Oh, Eugene, yes. The old one was so dated. Don't you think the house needed an upgrade? She smiled like this was normal, like it was her money she was spending. That's my credit card. We talked about asking before using it, remember? I kept my tone neutral, but inside I was screaming. This wasn't the first time. Her face twisted into something ugly. Your card? Last time I checked, you're family now. What's yours is ours. That's how marriage works, baby. She said it so sweetly, so condescendingly, that my blood pressure spiked. Anna walked in then, saw the statement in my hand. Eugene, please don't start. Mom needed furniture. Needed? Anna, we're trying to save for our own place. That was supposed to be our emergency fund. I looked at her, really looked at her, searching for the woman I'd married. We live here now. This is our place, she said quietly, and something in my chest cracked. That night, I lay awake doing the math. In 3 years, I'd paid $168,000 keeping that household afloat. After Gerald's ultimatum, I walked upstairs to our bedroom. Well, Anna's childhood bedroom that we'd been crammed into like teenagers. I sat on the edge of the bed, hands shaking, trying to process what just happened. Anna followed minutes later, closing the door softly behind her. You're not actually mad about this, are you? She asked, sitting beside me. Not touching me, just sitting. Am I mad? I laughed, hollow and bitter. Anna, your father just kicked me out of a house I've been paying for. Your mother spends money like I'm an ATM. And you said nothing down there. Not one word in my defense. She sighed, that long-suffering sigh I'd grown to hate. Eugene, they're my parents. They raised me. They're going through a hard time. A hard time that's lasted 3 years? Baby, I showed you the budget spreadsheets. I've paid every mortgage payment, every utility bill, every grocery run, every car payment. Your dad drives a BMW I'm making payments on. My voice rose despite my efforts to stay calm. So what? You want a medal? Anna's eyes flashed with anger I'd never seen directed at me before. You act like you're doing us some huge favor. We're family. Family doesn't treat each other like personal banking. I asked, I begged, for us to save for our own home. Your mom spent our emergency fund on furniture. God, Eugene, you're so controlling about money. Maybe Dad's right. Maybe you do need to leave. She stood up, arms crossed, looking exactly like her mother in that moment. That's when I realized the truth. I'd married into a family that saw me as a resource, not a person. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I sat at my laptop pulling bank statements, credit card records, mortgage documents, everything I'd been too trusting to audit before. Spreadsheet after spreadsheet painted a picture that made me sick to my stomach. The mortgage, $1,700 a month, every payment from my account. Never late. Utilities, $300 to $500 monthly, depending on season. All me. Groceries, $800 to $1,200 monthly. Diane loved her organic everything. Car payments, Gerald's BMW, $400 monthly. Diane's Mercedes, $550 monthly. My Honda, I'd paid cash before the marriage. Credit cards, this was the gut punch. $23,000 in charges over 3 years. Furniture, clothes, vacations I'd never gone on, restaurant meals for Diane's book club, golf club memberships for Gerald. All on cards in my name that I'd stupidly added them to as authorized users. Insurance, home, auto, health. All under my employer's benefits or my bank account. Cell phones, family plan, $180 monthly. 4 lines, theirs, Anna's, and mine. I created a master document, color-coded everything. Red for mortgage, blue for utilities, green for groceries, yellow for luxury spending. The Excel sheet looked like a rainbow of financial abuse. Total damage, $173,462.17. I sat back, staring at the number. That was a down payment on a house. That was early retirement contributions. That was my future, drained away by people who couldn't even say thank you. I called my best friend Tyrell at 6 in the morning. He picked up on the second ring, voice groggy. Man, somebody better be dead or dying. I need to show you something. Can you meet me at Jerry's diner before work? An hour later, we sat in a corner booth. I slid my laptop across the table. Tyrell was a corporate lawyer, the smartest guy I knew, and the only person I trusted with this mess. He scrolled through the spreadsheets, his expression darkening with each page. Eugene. He looked up at me, jaw tight. Tell me you've been documenting all this. I just started last night, after they kicked me out of my own house. Your house. He leaned forward. Whose name is on the mortgage? Mine. Just mine. They didn't qualify after the restaurant bankruptcy. I agreed to buy it, let them stay temporarily until they recovered financially. I rubbed my face, exhausted. That was 3 years ago, Ty. Tyrell whistled low. And your wife? Where does she stand in all this? I told him about the ultimatum, about Anna's silence, about the credit card confrontation. With each word, his face got harder. Finally, he closed the laptop and looked at me dead in the eyes. Eugene, you know what this is, right? Financial abuse. Exploitation. And your wife is complicit. He paused, choosing his words carefully. You need to protect yourself legally. Today. Right now. What are you saying? I'm saying get a lawyer. Document everything. Because when you stop paying their bills, and you will stop, this is going to get nuclear. The weight of his words settled over me like a heavy coat. He was right. I knew he was right. I took a half day off work and met with Patricia Stewart, the family law attorney Tyrell recommended. Her office overlooked downtown, all glass and steel, the kind of place that screamed expensive. But Tyrell had vouched for her, said she was a pit bull in designer heels. Patricia was mid-50s, sharp-eyed, with silver streaks in her black hair. She listened to my story without interrupting, taking notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finished, she leaned back in her leather chair. Mr. Williams, I'm going to be direct with you. You're in a precarious but not impossible situation. First question, do you want to save your marriage? The question hung in the air. I'd been avoiding it, dancing around it, but hearing it stated so plainly forced me to confront reality. Did I want to stay married to someone who'd watched her parents bleed me dry? I don't know, I admitted. Part of me loves her. But the woman I married wouldn't have treated me like an ATM. Patricia nodded. Fair enough. Let's focus on protecting you first, marriage second. You own the house outright in your name. Mortgage is in my name only. They couldn't qualify. Good. That's very good. Any joint accounts with the in-laws? No, just credit cards where they're authorized users. Remove them. Today. I'll draft a letter. She made notes. Now, your wife. Joint accounts. Yes. Checking and savings. My stomach dropped. She has full access. Patricia's expression told me that was a problem. We need to protect those assets immediately. I'm going to recommend you document every penny, open a separate account, and consult with a divorce attorney even if you're not ready to file. Divorce. The word felt like glass in my mouth. Preparation. Eugene. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I came home that evening, to the house I owned, with a folder of documents and a new bank account. Anna was in the living room with her parents, the three of them laughing at something on TV like they didn't have a care in the world. Like they hadn't tried to kick me out yesterday. We need to talk. All of us. I stood in the doorway, folder in hand. Gerald muted the TV. Eugene, we thought you'd have started packing by now. I'm not going anywhere. This is my house. I walked to the coffee table, placed the folder down. And we need to discuss finances. Right now. Diane laughed, actually laughed. Finance? Baby, that's not really a group discussion topic. When I'm paying every single bill in this house, it absolutely is. I opened the folder, pulled out the spreadsheets. I documented everything. 3 years, $173,000. That's what it's cost me to support this family. The room went silent. Anna's face paled. Gerald leaned forward, snatching the papers. You've been keeping track? Like we're some charity case. His voice dripped with indignation. You are a charity case, Gerald. You've been living rent-free in my house, driving a car I pay for, using credit cards in my name. That stops today. How dare you? Diane shot to her feet. We gave you our daughter. We welcomed you into our family. This is how you repay us. The manipulation was so blatant it almost made me laugh. Repay you? For what? For spending my money? For treating me like an ATM with a pulse? Anna finally spoke. Eugene, you're embarrassing yourself. This isn't who you are. No, baby. This is exactly who I am. I'm the fool who let you all take advantage of him for 3 years. 2 days after the confrontation, I came home to find Anna packing suitcases. My heart lurched. Maybe she was finally ready to leave her parents, to start fresh with me. Hope flickered stupidly in my chest. Going somewhere? I asked from the doorway. She didn't look at me. Moving back to my old room. This marriage was a mistake. The words hit like a physical blow. Anna, we can fix this. We can get counseling, move out together, start over. Start over. She whirled on me, eyes blazing. You humiliated my parents. You made them feel like criminals in their own home. It's my home. My name on the deed. God, everything is about money with you. She zipped the suitcase with violent force. I can't be married to someone so selfish, so controlling. I laughed, bitter and broken. Selfish? I gave your family everything. 3 years of my life, my savings, my future. Nobody asked you to. She picked up the suitcase. You did that because you wanted to feel superior, like the big man taking care of the poor broke family. That's when I saw it. Her phone lit up on the dresser with a text notification. The name that flashed made my blood run cold. Donnell. Who's Donnell? My voice came out deadly quiet. Anna's face went from angry to panicked in a heartbeat. She grabbed the phone quickly. Too quickly. Nobody. Just a friend from work. A friend from work with a heart emoji. I stepped closer. How long, Anna? Eugene, don't do this. How long? My voice cracked, and I hated the desperation in it. She met my eyes then, and what I saw there destroyed me. Defiance. Not guilt, not shame. Defiance. 6 months. And he treats me better than you ever did. I didn't sleep. Didn't eat. I went to Tyrell's apartment and told him everything. He poured me a bourbon, let me sit in silence for a few minutes, then handed me his iPad. Check your phone records. All of them. I logged into our cell phone account, the family plan I paid for, and started going through Anna's call logs. The pattern was obvious once I looked. Donnell's number appeared daily, sometimes multiple times, going back months. Hours-long calls. Late-night texts. Then I checked our credit card statements more carefully, looking beyond the obvious charges. Romantic dinners at restaurants we'd never gone to together. A weekend at a bed and breakfast in wine country I'd never visited. Hotel charges in the city on nights she'd claimed to be at her friend Lynn's place. She's been using your money to date him, Tyrell said flatly, reading over my shoulder. The bourbon tasted like acid. Her parents knew. They had to know. Probably encouraged it. You're the meal ticket, Donnell's the excitement. Tyrell pulled up a legal document on his laptop. I called Patricia. She's drafting separation papers. You need to file first, Eugene. Control the narrative. I thought she loved me. My voice broke and I hated myself for it. Maybe she did once. But people like them, they're users. They found a good man and sucked him dry. Tyrell gripped my shoulder. You gotta cut them off, man. All of them. Completely. I nodded, staring at the phone records. 6 months of lies. 6 months of being made a fool. While I worked 60-hour weeks to keep their lights on, she was building a life with someone else. Do it, I told Tyrell. File everything. The next morning, I called my bank from the parking lot outside my office. By 9 a.m., I'd removed Gerald and Diane as authorized users on every credit card. By 10 a.m., I'd transferred half our joint savings to my new individual account. Patricia said that was fair in a divorce. By noon, I'd contacted the mortgage company, the utility companies, and the insurance providers. Everything would stop auto-paying in 30 days. I'd given them notice. More than they deserved. I called a moving company next. I need everything packed and moved by Friday. Everything in the master bedroom, my office, and the garage. The guy quoted me $3,500. Worth every penny. Then I drove home one last time. Gerald's BMW sat in the driveway, freshly washed. Diane's Mercedes gleamed next to it. Both would be repossessed within 60 days when the payments stopped. The thought gave me more satisfaction than it should have. I walked in without knocking. It was my house. They were all in the kitchen. Gerald, Diane, Anna, and a man I didn't recognize. Mid-30s, pretty boy with designer stubble and an expensive watch. Donnell. Eugene, Anna started, face flushing red. Save it. I'm not here for explanations. I placed an envelope on the kitchen table. Divorce papers. Legal notice that I'm terminating all financial support effective 30 days from now. Eviction notice for Gerald and Diane. You have 60 days to vacate my property. The kitchen exploded. Diane shrieked. Gerald lunged at me, but Donnell, to his credit, held him back. Anna just stared, papers in her trembling hands. You can't do this. Gerald roared. We have rights. Actually, you don't. Patricia made that very clear. This is my house. Your tenants at will. Consider this your notice. I turned and walked out, ignoring Diane's theatrical sobbing. The moving truck was scheduled for Friday. I'd already rented a furnished apartment downtown. My phone exploded over the next week. Texts, calls, voicemails, all from Anna, her parents, relatives I barely knew. The messages ranged from begging to threatening to bizarre attempts at manipulation. Diane, Eugene please, we'll starve. You're condemning us to homelessness. I'm having chest pains, I think it's my heart. Please call. Gerald, you're a cold-hearted bastard. We treated you like a son and this is how you repay us. You'll regret this. Anna, I made a mistake. Donnell means nothing. Please, we can work this out. I love you. Don't throw away our marriage over pride. The cousin I'd met twice. You really gonna let family be on the streets? That's not how we do. You wrong for this. I blocked them all. Every single number. Then I changed my locks remotely. Smart home technology is beautiful, and had security cameras installed. Patricia warned me they might try to force entry or claim squatters' rights. 2 weeks after I moved out, Tyrell called with an update. The bank rejected their loan application. They tried to refinance the house in their names, claim adverse possession. I laughed darkly. They don't have a leg to stand on. Patricia knows. She's filing for expedited eviction. Also, Anna's lawyer called. She wants spousal support. Of course she does. Patricia's arguing you were separated in practice, that she committed adultery, and that she has equal earning capacity. We'll fight it. He paused. How you holding up, man? Honestly, better than I expected. Angry, but free. Is that weird? Not even a little bit. Comment financial abuse is real if you believe no one should be treated like an ATM. Only users and manipulators will stay silent. 60 days came faster than they expected. The sheriff showed up at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday with eviction enforcement. I wasn't there. Patricia advised me to stay away, but Tyrell went as my representative to document everything. He sent me videos. Gerald screaming at the deputies, threatening to sue everyone from me to the president. Diane clutching her chest dramatically, claiming she couldn't breathe, until the paramedics arrived and found nothing wrong. Anna loading garbage bags of clothes into Donnell's Honda Civic, mascara running down her face. The house was trashed. Holes punched in walls. Fixtures ripped out. Kitchen cabinets broken. They'd destroyed what they couldn't take. Patricia immediately filed for damages, added it to the divorce proceedings. But here's what they didn't know. I'd had the utilities shut off 3 days earlier. The mortgage was in default, deliberately. I'd already negotiated a short sale with the bank. The house sold for $15,000 below market value, but I walked away clean, credit intact, and they got nothing. Gerald called from a blocked number that night. I almost didn't answer. You destroyed our lives, he screamed. We're living in a motel. Diane's on blood pressure medication. This is your fault. No, Gerald. This is your fault. You used me. All of you did. And now you're facing the consequences of your own choices. My voice was calm, cold even. We gave you everything. Our daughter, our home, our family. You gave me nothing but debt and disrespect. And I'm done paying for it. I hung up and blocked that number too. Patricia called an hour later. They're trying to claim elder abuse. Won't stick, but they're desperate. Let them try. I documented everything. 6 months later, I sat in my downtown apartment watching the sunset through floor-to-ceiling windows. The divorce was finalized. Anna got nothing. Adultery and financial abuse made sure of that. The house sold. I'd recovered most of my losses through the damage claims and property settlement. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I hope you're happy. Mom had a stroke. Dad's drinking again. I lost my job. Donnell left me. This is all your fault. I stared at the message for a long moment, then deleted it. Blocked the number. Their crises weren't my responsibility anymore. Tyrell knocked on my door an hour later with Chinese takeout and beer. You see the message? Yeah. Not my circus anymore. Damn right. He handed me a beer. You know what I heard through the grapevine? Donnell bounced when the money dried up. Anna thought he'd take care of her. I took a long drink. And Gerald and Diane. Living with Diane's sister in Atlanta. She's apparently making them work for their keep. Funny how that goes. We sat in comfortable silence, eating lo mein and watching the city lights. My savings account was rebuilding. I'd gotten a promotion at work. Started therapy. Joined a gym. I was dating someone new, casually, nothing serious, taking my time. You ever regret it? Tyrell asked. Cutting them all off. I thought about it. Really thought about it. About the 3 years of my life I'd given, the money I'd lost, the betrayal that still stung sometimes late at night. No, I finally said. I regret not doing it sooner. My phone buzzed again. Another blocked number. I silenced it without looking. Some bridges you burn for warmth. And I was finally done being cold. If you believe everyone deserves respect and fair treatment, hit that like button. Drop a comment saying I stand for justice. Only toxic people like Gerald and Diane won't. And subscribe if you can't stand manipulators who exploit good people. Let's make sure their kind knows they can't win.